professional fight.
And he's down, closing with a flurry. The bell is going to sound.
Tyson, because Tyson's going straight ahead.
Tyson, and you know it. You hit me, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
Bitch ass faggot homo bitch dick sucking nigga. In front of all these people. Oh.
The year 1986 is still etched in history. That's when Mike Tyson not only fought the gang leader, but the two boxers had a running feud that lasted multiple years.
I want me some Michelle Sissy Tyson. You don't get like this phony clothes. Long, baby.
After Mike Tyson's first decision in a boxing match, other boxers started to take shots at him in the media, but none of them were louder and more obnoxious than Mitch Blood Green.
I'm gonna kill you. I want you bad, baby. I'm looking good.
So let's have a recap of why those 10 rounds in the boxing ring weren't enough for these two rivals to settle their feud. They had to take it to the streets, and what went down afterward is still remembered by the entire globe. In May 1986, 6 months before defeating Trevor Berbick to win his first title, Mike Tyson took on the man who at the time was sitting one spot ahead of him in the rankings, Mitch Blood Green. He was a notoriously tough New York fighter who had the reputation of never backing down from a challenge. In his first 5 years as a pro, he didn't lose a fight, going 15-0-1. He finally suffered his first defeat at the hands of Berbick, who won a majority decision over Green in October 1985. Then after defeating Purcell Davis in January 1986, Green matched up with then 19-year-old Mike Tyson at Madison Square Garden for the first of two fights, one in the ring and one out of it. Back in the day, you know, there wasn't any social media around, but local news stations and sports networks would air every bit of trash talk Green threw at the then-teenager. However, I reckon he overlooked the fact that the then-teenager was actually the undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of the world back then. Well, who could blame him? After all, he was a gang leader always ready to get a taste of his opponent's blood. Green began calling Tyson out on TV and eventually got the fighters and the public's full attention. That's a big reason why this match got so hyped up. And when it went down, it was a crash course even for the casual boxing fans out there. Upon entering the ring, Mike Tyson had amassed a 20-0 record in just over 20 months as a professional, 19 of those wins coming via knockout. On the flip side, Mitch Green had a very solid reason to crush Mike Tyson, as he was upset that his payday for the fight was considerably less than what Mike Tyson was making. Blood was the higher-ranked fighter, but Tyson was clearly the draw, as he'd become one of the most must-see fighters in the world. But as soon as Green heard that a shot at the WCB heavyweight crown was on the line, he chose to participate. After the fight, Tyson claimed that he did not knock him out on purpose because he wanted to punish him for the entire fight. Whether that was true or not, Tyson certainly punished him in the entire fight, winning every single round. He also did major damage to Green's face, giving him 2 black eyes and even knocked Green's mouthguard out of his mouth, sending it flying out of the boxing ring.
Now here we see White, the mouthpiece come out with that left jab.
In this way, Tyson secured the victory by a clear decision, becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
For the winner, for his 21st straight win in as many fights, Mike Tyson.
Obviously, Green was not happy about that at all. Post the fight, Green's career, however, took a devastating turn. Following the loss to Iron Mike, he was released from his contract by his manager and didn't fight again until 1993, at least not inside the ropes. He constantly found himself in trouble with the law and essentially refused to fight for years due to various issues with promoters. He even wanted a rematch and tried everything to convince the promoters, but it's like Mike Tyson totally owned the spotlight. No one gets that Green just couldn't swallow his loss.
Tyson said, "You're gonna fight me. I want to fight Tyson. Now I'm not gonna walk away with just scars on my head."
The fact of the matter is that Tyson had no reason to give him a rematch, which made Green even angrier. Talking about his anger, Green was a volatile man with a bloody and notorious history as a leader of an infamous street gang. Born in Jamaica, Queens, New York, in his teens, he did all the stuff in his teens that a responsible citizen is legally not supposed to do. He got involved with drugs, guns, and gas station robbery and became the leader of the street gang, the Bloods. In fact, Green was so involved in the gang life that he developed a reputation as the king of the New York street gangs. The 6'5", 250-pounder says he was shot 3 times at the age of 17, and the last guy who shot him, Green maintains, "I knocked him out." You can clearly sense his terror from back in the day. But then, Green fixed his mind and tried to escape gang life by joining New York's best boxing gym. During his amateur career, he won the New York Golden Gloves 4 times as a teen, and then went professional in 1980, where he bagged 5 professional bouts with 1 draw. However, losing to Mike Tyson, according to Green, was the consequence of his continuous belief that he got ditched by the promoter Don King. He consistently claimed that he was owed money by Don King.
Mitch moves in mysterious. He's threatened the life of Don King about 5,000 times.
Green earned $30,000 for the Tyson fight, money that was not only disrespectful by his terms, but money he couldn't wipe his ass with. What made Green further see blood about the situation was how King at that time was building Tyson up and doing what he could to market the future champion. From that day, Green made a promise to himself that if he ever ran into King or Tyson in any situation, he would let them both know he felt dissed over the money issue. So when he heard that Iron Mike was in his neighborhood one morning in August 1988, Blood went looking to collect.
Mike Tyson was hanging around Dapper Dan. Go up there to get clothes at 4 a.m.
Plus, Green had an extra incentive. He also scored a chance for a rematch on the gritty streets of Harlem. Tyson was chilling at the store over at Dapper Dan's to pick up a custom leather jacket handmade by one of his friends. Right at the moment, with his gang buddies, Mitch Green burst through the door on his own, high on angel dust, demanding that Tyson either give him a rematch or empty his pockets right there on the spot. In the response, Tyson was acting to try all corporate and endorsement friendly. Tyson what? Exactly. It was undigested for me too, unless I came to know that he had been drinking beforehand. So he replied to Blood's stupid question first. He was like, "Now Mitch, you must consider what you are doing. I do not think that this course of action in the long run is advantageous for your health. You'll remember that I already vanquished you when we met in the ring. You need to proceed to the nearest exit immediately."
Mitch Green threw the first blow. Now, Mike Tyson did what any man, President of the United States.
This was the manager of Dapper Dan speaking. And like he said, a 22-year-old Tyson delivered this speech on the mean streets at 4 a.m. What followed was undeniably a violent beating. Tyson claims it started when Green ripped his shirt pocket, forcing him to retaliate.
My pocket tried to pull my pockets out because if he ripped my pocket, all the money would fall. That's when I just started punching him.
After that, things escalated real quick, ending with Tyson laying an absolute snot out of him and busting Green's eye socket. I mean, look at him. It's clear that Green got some serious hell of a beating. If we listen to Green's version, Tyson was the one who first turned his rings around and then sucker punched him. However, Tyson undoubtedly landed the first punch with several more following.
Who threw the first punch here?
He did. He sucker punched me because he's with his friends.
Well, here I also don't know who was right because there were no videos of their street brawl. It's just what you've seen in the music albums. But one thing's for sure, for weeks afterward, Green would be seen wearing sunglasses to cover up the massive amount of damage done to his eye, all from picking a fight with a young man right in the middle of the street. Again, it's like the gang leader's pride wouldn't let him accept his loss, so he started another round. Yes, even in the street. During the Hot Boxin' with Mike Tyson podcast in 2020, Tyson explained the further audacity of Green. Just comment down where you find it hilarious. Tyson and his driver headed to their car after he brutally sucker punched Green's face. Looking back from it, a zombie like Green pops up and yaps, "Back like Jason from Friday the 13th, and kicks me in the balls." I don't know how Tyson handled all of it because Blood just couldn't stop. He got up once again and tore off one of his car's wing mirrors, further enraging Tyson. Damn, Green, you should have known the saying, mess around and see what happens. Eventually, Tyson got out of his limousine and landed his signature punch, the right uppercut, and boom. Mitch went flying into the air and came down like a rag doll right on his head. It was the first time Tyson was terrified in the aftermath that he had actually killed Green.
And his head hit the floor and hit the concrete. Boom! And then that's when he was out. Boom!
That unforgettable street brawl also added fuel to reports that Tyson, who 2 months earlier had produced the performance of his career by stopping two-weight world champion Michael Spinks in only 91 seconds, was spinning out of control away from the boxing ring. So it was obvious their infamous brawl really affected Tyson's career as well as his reputation. But sorry, boss, Green showed every time why he's called Blood. He would later attempt to get his revenge in court, suing Tyson for $25 million in 1997, 9 years after the duel outside Dapper Dan's. However, Blood was eventually awarded just $45,000 in court, which was not even enough to cover his legal bills. Nonetheless, Green reportedly left the courthouse shouting, "I'm the winner, I whooped him." But let's be real, Green certainly never whooped Tyson in the ring or in the streets. But by frustrating him for 10 rounds in Kid Dynamite's first appearance at MSG, then by delaying his title defense against Bruno, Green definitely left his mark on Tyson's career and ensured their names are forever linked in a wild chapter of heavyweight boxing history. As of 2024, it's safe to say they've both moved on, and whenever their infamous 36-year-old feud comes up these days, they both joke about it. Now, according to you, whose boxing world was a real roller coaster ride? Comment your choices down below. And you have to do it. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to back us up on this content.